Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. Just a quick couple of things before we get into it. This should be on the YouTube channel James13 Wicca. I like to put that out there in case somebody's pirating my stuff. It happens once in a while. It happens to all of us, it seems, one sooner or later. I also do in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. So if you're near Herkimer, New York, feel free to shoot me an email to see if you can get a time slot for that. I have an Instagram that's below that shows my current pricing. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. The donation information is also below if you just want to send a donation, which I very much appreciate. That being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Scorpio. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Scorpio? Are we avoiding a problem? But maybe that's good. Maybe that's good. We gotta go a little farther here. What are people doing? What are people doing? It's not... I love that I'm going to say this. It's not bad, but we might be holding back on something, but there's a reason. There's clearly a reason if you're doing that. But the way this reading is already coming in, maybe you're questioning, like, I'm not, I'm keeping something from becoming a problem, but is this really the best thing? Like, should I be saying something or should I be saying something later? Okay, so I feel like I'm putting effort into something, and I'm really kind of questioning if I'm doing the right thing. What is this card over here? I keep feeling like I'm questioning it. Like, I don't know if this is the way to go with this. Somebody has screwed things up before, and I feel like I can't not think about it. And I'm working with this. Either I'm working with the error and I'm not highlighting it, or I'm working with this person and I'm not pointing out that they kind of screw things up for some reason. If that's what's going on, you might be actually getting ahead of this person and just getting it done before they have a chance so that they can't screw it up. I want to say the movie was called Angie with Gina Davis. I want to say that was the name of it, where one of the things that they would do is, like, this one person who married into the family would try to make sauce, and that person liked it, but other people didn't. So what they did was they would call that person in the other room to do something, and then they'd take out the pot that they were cooking and get rid of it, and they bring in another pot that somebody else was cooking. Just they switched it out. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, but you might be. So take it with a grain of salt. Because I feel like I'm going to some great lengths here to make sure that things don't fail, but also that they don't get any worse. And you're doing everything you can. I feel like I'm just, for this moment, Scorpio is a very dynamic energy. And if you're doing something like that, there's a very good reason for it. It's kind of like, we can't afford that problem right now, so I'm just going to do this, and it'll just work for now, and I don't know. And I keep feeling like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I don't know if this is the best thing to do, but for right now, it's the thing that's working. So we're doing that because right now, this is what's working. What are you? Does somebody else know? Is somebody else helping you? Somebody might be helping you, or maybe somebody realizes what you're doing. For whatever reason, typically I feel like Scorpio is really good at keeping their secrets. But I'm saying this as a Pisces, and I know some Scorpios. Sometimes you come across somebody else who just seems to figure things out once in a while. Maybe not all of it, but enough of it to where you're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. But they're not seeming to cause a problem. They're staying hidden. They're staying hidden, but they're there. Either somebody is helping you, or they're keeping the secret that you're doing, of whatever you're doing. Because I feel like I'm working really diligently to keep this from becoming a problem. I'm putting the effort in to keep it from falling apart. I don't want this tower moment, at least not right now. When I see this card come in, it's kind of like, well, at least not right now. Not right now. I need some time to figure this out and see where things are going. I just don't want this to be a problem, at least not right now. I also feel like I'm not letting myself overthink it any more than I have to. I'm seeing this energy at the moment. I just keep going. I just keep going. If I keep in motion, I can't think about it at least as much, at least not as much. I just keep moving. I just try to do this. I just try to move from thing to thing. I just try to keep myself busy. And if I keep myself busy, it doesn't let my mind work as much as at least. So I keep trying to do what I can. These are the cards I'm seeing here because, like, I'm worried. I'm like, I don't know. The Three of Swords half in, half out is like, am I avoiding devastation or am I inviting it in? Am I avoiding heartache or am I inviting it in? And if it does show up, is it just going to be too bad, so sad? How long am I going to have to do this? That's kind of like the Eight of Wands in that weird way, as it comes in a weird way. Like, how long am I going to have to do this? Is this just going to be a quick thing and then, okay, we can move on from it? Or am I going to have to keep doing this? I don't really know. What's the next thing? Whatever's going on, there's a real good reason for it. I have no question about that. If you're involved in it, there's a reason. There's clearly a reason, a very important reason to you. And I feel like I'm having a harder time as this keeps going forward because I feel like I still have to do whatever I'm doing. It's like it's starting to, like, I keep doing what I have to do. I keep questioning if it's the right thing to do or not because I keep having to do it, but it keeps things from falling apart. It keeps things, at least for now, from getting worse. Although at the same time, when I'm seeing this Two of Cups on its side, I don't feel like I could do this for the rest of my life. So sooner or later, something has to change. This isn't going to work forever. And I'm still questioning, like, is it going to mediate out on its own? Or is it just waiting till I make a different decision and then, you know, the piper has to be paid, as they say. Okay, so what is that? The Page of Fire reversed and the Six of Wands. Still, a lot of this is saying there's a point in which you're going to see, like, all right, I've done this long enough. Maybe I should let it hit the fan. Maybe I should just let it hit the fan. Maybe I should just let it. And the question is, I don't know if that's going to work. Because it seemed at some point I feel like I've done this long enough, and I think maybe it's just enough. Maybe I should just let that tower happen. I'm not sure you have to go that way. It may feel like it though, because there's going to be a moment of frustration, kind of like I'm constantly trying to make this work out, but it never improves. This isn't going to be my new life's vocation, so maybe it almost feels like sooner or later I'm going to have to do it anyway. Maybe I should just let it happen. Because one day I'm not going to do this. Maybe I should just let it happen and stop doing what I'm doing. Maybe. Here's a possibility. I feel like this is communication. Let me do the dice here. We got the Death card on the dice, the 13, and we got the Page of Swords. Okay, so the Page of Swords is like, when it comes to communication, I usually think of the Page of Swords as not a creator of information, but a messenger. I know people see all the pages as messengers. I just see the Page of Swords as a messenger because of the communication with the swords, the air, blah, 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 blah. Not that I need to explain that, but maybe I should just start putting it out there, like, you know, that Page of Swords makes me wonder, because they're very creative in communication. The Page of Swords, all of the court cards and the swords are not limited to verbal. You know, you don't just communicate verbally. You do with your gestures, when you do things, and how you do things. You know, all that stuff. So one of the ways you can communicate what's going on is you could invite somebody to follow you around for the day and just let them watch what you're doing and let them decide what they need to do. Because once they see what you're doing to fix the situation, they might realize, I feel like it's going to be very quick, like, because you'll choose wisely. You will. I know you're going to choose wisely. They'll understand why you're doing what you're doing. In fact, maybe you'll explain, like they'll say, why did you do that, Scorpio? Well, I didn't want the tower to fall over. Whatever's going on. I didn't want this bad thing to happen. So I just stepped ahead and did this so it wouldn't fall down, but I can't do this for the rest of my life. In fact, I don't know how much longer I can do it. I might walk away soon. Somebody else is going to be like, all right, wait a minute. This isn't going to work. This isn't sustainable, but we got to do things differently. So you might have somebody else in there who can like help you get out of it and actually correct it. I feel like for the people that's going to hit with, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I want that. I want out of it anyway. I want out of it. Because I feel like somebody else is looking at this like, I thought that was working. That's not working. Scorpio picking up all the pieces, this isn't functioning right. This is not correct. I feel like that they're going to understand, like, you did what you did because you did not want this to fall apart. You just didn't know what else to do with it at the time. And you're just like, these people, what's going on? This is just what I could do to make it work. And it's just not going to work. And I don't know what else to do. So what do you think, kind of thing? And they're like, oh, well, okay, this can't keep going this way. But maybe we can have some other people step in and we can kind of like, you know, have a few other people step in and keep these plates spinning until we figure out how to get these plates off these sticks. And I feel like somebody else is going to come in. Somebody else could come in with answers. We all play our part, right? We all play our different parts. Somebody else may have an idea and be able to take this apart, because I feel like they're going to have to work with others. They're going to have to kind of like go back and forth and like, all right, Scorpio's been spinning these plates. I don't really feel like that should have been on Scorpio. So let's all work together and everybody take a plate and keep it spinning. And then let's figure out how do we get these plates off these sticks, because they're like 20 feet up there. How do we get these plates off without breaking them? Because they're 20 feet up there and we're only this feet high. So like, how do we get these plates safely off without breaking any? What is this? This is your ending. You may not get the ideal ending, but I feel like it at least can be better than the Tower. The Justice half in, half out with the Queen of Cups. I feel like what they're saying is like, when you've done your part, let the next phase come in. A lot of these things have levels of improvement that need to happen. So because I keep seeing this, like, after this all worked out, it's like, well, at least the tower didn't fall, but I don't think that was quite right the way they fixed it. This situation is not over. It's gonna go through levels, through stages, through phases, if you will. You brought it where it needs to go for the next level of healing to come in. And sometimes things have to be done incorrectly for a time so people can learn why they shouldn't be done that way. This here is kind of saying you've done enough. Don't get yourself over tied to it if you don't have to. Distance yourself from it. Give yourself a break. There's more things that have to come out of this situation. There's more things that have to be learned by other people. And you don't have to worry about it once you've disconnected. I have a feeling you will anyway, but you don't have to. Let yourself go on to other things. Let yourself focus on other things. Let yourself focus on other things is what I'm getting with this. You've done well. You've got the situation to the next phase, and that was the point, to get it to the next phase. People have to learn what they have to learn, and, you know, if everything just worked perfectly, I mean, it's not the purpose of this planet. We're here to learn, and if everything worked perfectly, what would you really learn? You know what I mean? We're here to learn how things go wrong and how to fix them, so I don't know. It's part of how it goes. I feel like you understand it probably better than I do, now that I think of it, because Scorpio kind of gets that. Anything else? I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.